Why did they hide him? The secret agreement that kept YuMenglong's son out of sight. It began with a single photograph, a blurry image, uploaded by an anonymous account at 3 in the morning. At first, no one paid attention, until someone zoomed in and realized what they were looking at. A small boy, no more than 4 years old, with YuMenglong's unmistakable eyes. The same dimpled smile, the same calm expression. It was as if time itself had brought him back. And in that moment, the internet exploded. Who was this child? Where had he come from? And more importantly, why had no one ever known he existed? Hold on tight, K-drama family, because this journey is only just beginning. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The revelations, the emotions, the moments that will change everything. The photo that broke the internet. Within hours, Weibo, Douyin, and Twitter were flooded with one name, YuMenglong's son. Fans couldn't believe it. Even close colleagues were stunned. For years, YuMenglong's private life had been a mystery, quiet, clean, free from scandal. But now, the question wasn't just if he had a child. It was why the world had never been allowed to know. And soon, sources began to speak. What they revealed would send shockwaves through the industry. The secret agreement. According to multiple insiders close to YuMenglong's management team, the truth ran deeper than anyone imagined. Years before his death, Yu Menglong had quietly signed a confidential agreement with his former agency, a document that restricted any public acknowledgement of his personal life. Why? Because of fear. At the height of his fame, Yu Menglong was not just an actor. He was a brand. Every movement, every word, every photograph was part of a carefully constructed image, humble, focused, romantically unattached. The ideal leading man for millions of fans. But behind the curtains, he had already become a father. A secret he protected with his life. The woman behind the silence. Her identity was never made public. Not once. Industry insiders say she was a screenwriter, a quiet creative force who worked on several of his early dramas. They met long before YuMenglong's breakout fame. And when she became pregnant, he made a decision that would define the rest of his life. He refused to let the industry destroy her. He refused to let tabloids turn his child into a headline. So a deal was made. A quiet arrangement between lawyers and managers, the kind of document written not to protect fame, but to protect innocence. What the agreement said. In that secret contract, Yu Menglong agreed to keep his relationship and child out of the public eye. In return, his agency would ensure the mother and son were financially secure, provided they remained invisible to the public. There would be no photos, no interviews, no leaks, no acknowledgement, ever. And so, for years, the world never knew. Not his friends, not his fans, not even some of his closest colleagues. The only ones who knew were two people, Soo Kai and Tan Songyan. The night they found out. It was after a long shoot, nearly 2 years before Yu Menglong's death. Soo Kai later told a friend that Menglong had pulled them aside one evening, his tone serious but soft. He said, "There's someone I need you to protect if anything ever happens to me." Neither of them understood at first, until he showed them a small photo on his phone. A little boy, smiling up at the camera. Tan Songyan gasped. Soo Kai froze. Yu Menglong smiled faintly and said, "He's my everything. But the world can't know. Not yet." They promised to keep his secret. And they did, until his death. The world finds out. When the child's photo leaked, Soo Kai and Tan Songyan didn't speak immediately. They didn't deny it, but they didn't confirm it either. Fans were torn between shock and compassion. And then, just 3 days later, a letter surfaced. It was verified by his former manager. A letter Yu Menglong had written to be opened only in case of public misunderstanding. The words were simple, yet heartbreaking. "If my son's existence becomes known, I want the world to understand I didn't hide him because I was ashamed. I hid him because I wanted him to have a normal life, a safe life, away from the noise and the hate." the child who carries his smile. Today, that little boy lives quietly abroad with his mother. No public appearances. No media. Just the quiet life his father always wanted for him. But those who have seen him say he's the mirror image of Yu Menglong. Same laugh. Same calmness. And when he draws, he uses the same phrase his father once said. Everything is art if it comes from the heart. The industry reacts. The revelation of Yu Menglong's son changed everything. It exposed the dark truth of fame, how even love could be silenced for image. Directors and co-stars began to speak up. One veteran actor said, "He wasn't hiding his child. He was protecting him from us, from the cameras, the rumors, the cruelty." Another insider revealed that after Yu Menglong's passing, Soo Kai and Tan Songyun personally ensured that the boy's future was secure, honoring a promise they made years before. They became his guardians in silence, protectors of the secret his father carried. The moment that started it all, it wasn't a press conference. It wasn't a media event. Just a simple online video, filmed in a sunlit room, with a piano in the background and a quiet boy sitting on a wooden chair. His hair fell slightly over his forehead, his expression calm and composed, but when he looked up, the resemblance was undeniable. The same warm eyes, the same unshakable gentleness. He began softly, his voice fragile yet firm. "My name is Meng. I know many of you know my father, and I think it's time you heard from me." And just like that, millions watched as the boy the world wasn't supposed to know spoke the truth his father never could. "I knew about him before I knew who he was." The young boy explained that his mother had told him about YuMenglong long before he saw a photo of him. He knew his father not as a celebrity, but as a voice, through letters, songs, and bedtime stories recorded years before his birth became a secret. "He didn't want me to live in his shadow," the boy said quietly. "But I think I've been living in his light instead." The line spread across every social platform within minutes, because in those few words, he revealed what years of speculation never could, that Yu Menglong hadn't abandoned him. He had protected him. The letters, his father's words, his son's voice. The boy held up a small box. Inside were neatly folded papers, each one covered in the same handwriting the world had seen before, the same ink, the same emotion. "He wrote to me before I was born," he said softly. "My mom kept them all." Then slowly he read one aloud. "Dear little one, if you ever miss me, look at the stars. Because every time I miss you, I'll be there, shining, watching, and proud." For a moment, the boy couldn't continue. He looked away, tears glistening in his eyes. And as the world watched in silence, it felt as though Yu Menglong himself had spoken through his son's voice. Soo Kai and Tan Songyun react. Within hours of the video's release, Soo Kai and Tan Songyun broke their own silence. Soo Kai reposted the video with just one caption. "You've grown so much. He be proud." Tan Songyun, who had acted as a quiet guardian all those years, shared a short message that sent fans into tears once again. He said the stars would watch over you. Now you're the one shining. Neither of them mentioned Yu Menglong's name outright. They didn't need to. The world already knew. The final message. At the very end of the video, the boy looked directly into the camera and said one final line. It lasted only 3 seconds, but it's a line people will never forget. "I'm not his secret. I'm his story." And with that, the screen faded to black. Silence followed, the kind that only truth can create. Sometimes the greatest legacy isn't written in fame or fortune, but in the quiet hearts left behind. Yu Menglong lived for art. He loved in silence. And now, through his son, his voice lives again, not in scripts or songs, but in life itself. The boy the world was never meant to see has become the voice the world will never forget. Because love, even when hidden, always finds a way to speak.